There's the difference. So we got talking about coffee, and here we are with this kind of products, unequaled in the world. Now, on the World Tasters Cup, you know where our coffee is ranked right now? It's above 90. Above 90. Starbucks best tasting of the top 20 biggest companies in the world, about 81. The ones like Folgers, Nescafe, in the low 70s. The coffee companies in MLM in the low 60s. You see? So what kind of coffee do you want to sell? Do you want to sell the world's best tasting coffee? Do you want one that has undetectable amounts of Ganoderma in it? Or do you want huge amounts of these others? Chaga, Bacopa, Gotu Kola, all of those with such immense power. That's what you want, you see? That's why our company is so much different than any you've ever dealt with in your life. And when I sold my company, I looked at this and I thought, it doesn't make any difference to me. I'm not in this for the money. I'm here today. Here I'm the president of the company. We're in 45 countries. We're just getting the United States going. We kept the best for last. And you know why we did? It's not like eating your dessert. It's the fact that if we weren't ready for prime time, we didn't want to trash America, the biggest market in the world, in our backyard. We wanted to get everything done so that when you came on, as the distributor force that is the largest in the world, that things would be right. So we wouldn't do one of these things like, have you seen these companies, these juice companies, they get shot up, shooting stars, and then they burn out and they come spiraling down, and then suddenly, and a weight loss company, and now what have they had, over 10,000 BMWs repossessed from their distributor forces that have a convention, and I've seen the photos, maybe you have too, on it, on Facebook and places like that, and YouTube, and they're having a big convention of these weight loss distributors. I won't talk about the company, but in the parking lot, it's just tow trucks, just patrolling, checking license plates, so they can pull up and haul off those repoed cars where they haven't been able to make it. Why? Because the company was designed to pay the people at the top. So who should be the most important distributor in the company? You came late, so we'll use you. If you're brand new, you should be the most important distributor in the company. And we should do everything in our power to make you be successful. Doesn't that make sense? That's what you want. That's why you joined. Do you want to come in and sacrifice and do everything so some fat cat over here that's up at the top of the organization can make a grundle off what you're doing? You know, and someday you may get there. Put that picture of that car on your refrigerator and look at it every day, and one day you'll step out in the garage and you'll see it's there. You'll say, oh, it's the 30-year-old model. You see? Isn't that the reality of those kind of dreams? Let's take dreams and let's conceive them and let's achieve them. We can do that. So I'm sharing the wealth. That's why you come in as a new distributor. I see one of these coffee companies say, oh, we have a binary fast start program. You know what that is? That is a screw job, and it really is, because a binary only pays about 40% of what goes into the volume. And so they have 20% binary, that means they're going to pay out 8%. How'd you like 30%? That a big difference? 30 and 8, see you Ray? 8, 30, 10 times. Okay, so if you got that, 30% fast start. You've gone a lot of work. You went to a lot of work to recruit her. Do you want 8%? Do you want 30% for that work of what she's doing? Yeah, I'll share the wealth with you. I'll give it to you. You can have that, okay? Then next month when she buys, I'll pay you 2 and 3 times the commission that somebody else will pay you on her. Do you like those apples? You know, that's pretty good. That's the way this thing is, because I'm sharing the wealth, because I don't need it. I've made my money in life, and what I do need is what I want to do, and that's not ride around on cruise ships with blue-haired women, I can tell you that. What I want to do is help you to make your life better, healthier, wealthier, and happier. And that's my mission, and that's all I'm dedicated to. Now, in doing that, it's nice to make a lot of money, isn't it? It's also nice to live a lot longer, too, isn't it, in good health. And we can achieve all that. So, have you checked your telomeres lately? You may not even know what they are, but they're getting a little frayed. And telomeres are tips on chromosomes on stem cells, and every time you produce a new cell, you lose some of it, and it frays a little more. And the more units you lose, the faster you age. And so we have the potential to live between 125 and 150. They map the human genome, And they know that. So when the average age is 75, what did you die of? Old age? Middle age, right? Nobody dies of middle age. You die of some disease. And it's a disease that is incident to two things: decay and degeneration. And that's all that aging is, folks. If you're sitting there thinking, I'm getting older, it's because you're decayed and you're degenerated. That doesn't mean you're a degenerate, but you're degenerating, okay? So anyway, with that, if that is what simply aging is, and you degenerate and you decay until you get to the point of about somewhere where you get somewhere around 50, give or take a little bit, the disease kicks in that's going to kill you because you've decayed and you've degenerated. So how about if we could end the decay, we could increase regeneration beyond degeneration, what would happen to you? No more decay, regeneration, you would live longer, you would be healthier. And that's what we can do. Science has found it. It's found the fountain of youth. You see, Ponce de Leon, did you ever hear about him? Wandered around down through Florida, wasn't it? There, looking for the fountain of youth, drinking out of every spring till he drank around one that had too much bacteria and it killed him. You know, looking for the fountain of youth. He found a fountain of death. But the concept was that, I mean, we want to live for a long time. The Chinese had Lai Shizhen lived 239 years. He was a physician, and his successor lived 246 years. How did they do that? Harvard University, which just sold the research on resveratrol, the ingredient from red wine, to GlaxoSmithKline, the big pharmaceutical giant, for $730 million for the studies. So they could get a synthetic drug that would make you live longer. You see, they said you should live to be at least 125, your human genome. If you got poor genetics, right, you can have 125 years. If you have good genetics, you can live to be 150. So 125 still sounds pretty good, doesn't it? If you're in good health. So what do you need to do? You need to rewind your telomeres. How do you do that? Is it like an airplane with a propeller that you wind up a rubber band and you let it go and it takes off and then it starts getting less and less and you go, ooh, and then it glides and it crashes? That's actually what life is like with it, because as the telomeres are used up, the reproduction rate of those cells go down and down and down, and pretty soon the glide falls off. And you start accelerating your aging process. And so when you're about 25, quite frankly, you're grewed up. That's the term. You're all grewed. And after that, you start to age. And you start to age between 25 and 35 at about 40% faster. So in other words, if you live a day, you'll age between 25 and 35 about a day, 1.4 days. But 10 years later, you're aging at 4/10 on top of that, so you're aging, you live a day and you age 8/10 of a day more. And then by the time you're 50, you live a day and you age 2 days. And by the time you're 70, you live a day and you age 3 days, you see? Because decay and degeneration has gotten you. And so some people live longer than others, and it's because their telomeres, they're building more telomeres, they have more telomerase. And their own biology does it. Cancer cells are immortal. Did you know that? Cancer cell will live forever until it kills you. And if you put it in a petri dish and if you fed it, it would never die, because it repairs its telomeres as fast as it creates new cells, and so it just duplicates at the top rate possible. So this is where this science came from. They said, how can we slow down cancer rate of cancer cells? And they said, decrease the telomerase. That was the enzyme that does it. So they decreased it, but it went down in all cells, and people that had cancer were worse because their body was just going to pot with it. And so they said, well, let's see, if we increase telomerase, does it cause cancer? No, it doesn't. Does it make cancer cells growing faster? No, it doesn't. They're already going as fast as they can go. The pedal is clear to the metal, and cancer cells can't duplicate any faster. But your other cells aren't duplicating at that rate. They've gone down here. And so if you can increase the telomeres, it can go up here, and now you can fight cancer head on with that thing. Your cancer-fighting immune system comes up and all that, and regeneration, body grows, all of those things start to duplicate at a very fast rate. So how do we do that? How can you build strong bone? Calcium, magnesium, The 7 minerals that builds bone? Yeah, you better, if you don't take it, do you expect to build bone? Of course you lose it. So how do you build telomers? There are ingredients that build telomers, and that science has been found, and it won a Nobel Prize about 4 years ago for doing that, on how to build telomers. And now you can rebuild your telomers, and you can take your age no matter what you are, and you can reverse it, according to these scientists. I can't say that for a product because it hasn't been tested. I haven't filled out a 100,000 page application, paid my $2 billion, and waited 20 years to make that statement. So I will tell you what science says about it. And they say you can rebuild your telomeres, and 3 scientists got a Nobel Prize because they had found the fountain of youth. Now, what can we say? We have the ingredients that have been studied in a massive formulation that can support your rebuilding of telomeres. But guess what you can do? You do some things, your telomeres, you lose them faster. You smoke. Heavy smoking is really bad on telomeres because it oxidizes and so bad. So you can have your telomeres tested. It's not so easy, but they draw blood. You can send it off to a company called SpectraCell, and they will count your telomere units for you. And at conception, you have about 15,000. And by the time you're born, you have about 10,000 left. By the time you die, you have less than 6,000. See? So in other words, between birth, where you have 10,000, and 25 when you're grown, you've rebuilt the telomeres. You maintain them, but then you start losing them. And you lose about 8 to 10% of them every 10 years. And so you get to a certain point, you don't have enough regeneration, and it kicks in, and you're going to pass away. So if you can rebuild those, what can you do? I'll tell you what you can do. You can grow younger. Would you like to grow younger? Live longer? Grow younger? You can do it. I'm a good example. I had my telomeres tested a year ago. I was, according to my biological age, I was 52 a year ago. Do I look 52? Okay, well, I had them tested this birthday, and I'm 46. I lived a year, and I grew 6 years younger. Can you believe that? With it? That's a lot. Now, what's my biological age? 46. Somebody says, how old are you? Are you asking me how young I am or how long I've lived? Which is it? Because there's a big difference between the two, because I lived 72 years. I'm 72. That's my chronological age. But that's not how old I am. I'm 46 years young, see? Next year I'll be in the lower 40s with it. Maybe I'll hit 40. 40 forever, does that sound pretty good? Yeah. I like 40 forever. Any of you like that? Sounds pretty good, right? Except to a teenager. But in reality, you can do that. I have a guy that's 92 and his biological age is 48, and he spoke at our convention with it. I'm going back to the Amish. Did you hear about this? But he has had his telomeres. He's about 40. His biological age is 72. Can you imagine? Was it 72, Ray? Was that it? Do you remember?
Titus.
I can't remember.
Yeah, there was one guy in Titus.
That great big guy?
Yeah. Well, there's one in Titus just tested.
Yeah.
And he's been on it for a year, and he's down 15 years.
No, okay. There's one that went back 15 years in the Amish. There's one that just had us tested. He's been a heavy smoker. He's about 40 years old, and his biological age is 72. Yeah. You think he better do something about it pretty quick? Yeah, with that. So here we sit with all these kinds of things that we can do, and we can do a lot with our human health. You want to lose weight? Losing weight is really easy if you'll just do a little bit. Just cut back a little bit. Take a couple of supplements. What's the best weight loss product in the world? Do you know? They say the best diet is the Mediterranean diet, but I don't like living in Italy, so I think I'll skip that one. But Atkins diet is pretty good. But how about if you could get the ingredients from the Mediterranean diet, and you could concentrate them, and you could put them into a supplement? That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Who's done it? Us. We're the only company that has. So what's the next best? Dr. Oz says Garcinia cambogia is the best. I don't know if I agree with him or not, but he's become pretty famous in saying that. But it has hydroxycitric acid in it. And hydroxycitric acid, you don't need to know all these things. This is Greyhound bus stuff again. But with it, you hit a certain level, it'll satisfy your appetite, satiety. You hit another level, it'll burn fat, mobilize fat, and create fat to be used. And also at that level, it interferes with the enzyme and outcompetes citric acid. This happens to be hydroxycitric acid, and when that enzyme forms, now it won't store fat. So that's a pretty good story, isn't it? So would you like to have that in your product? How about if we put Mediterranean diet with the extract from Garcinia cambogia in the dosage that's high enough for maximum effect to both? Does that sound like a pretty good program? Have you heard about the green tea diet? Yeah, what's in that? EGCGs. How about the right amount of those added into it? Would you like that? How about green coffee bean? How about the right amount of those added into that? Does that work too? Yes, it does. How about thermogenic fat burning? How about a product you can take and you burn so much fat that you start to perspire, and if you overdose on it, you have to carry a fire extinguisher. Would you like that? Well, we've got that all in one product. One formulation, if you can, and it's in your coffee. Weight loss coffee is in, and we've got supplements that you can take if you don't want to take the coffee. You have to take 8 pills, but you know what? It's not like a small potato, but you're just taking pills. You can take it, and boy, do you lose weight off it. It really loses weight. But in order to be compliant, the FDA, I have to say, strictly for the FDA, is that you must decrease your caloric intake and or increase exercise. Okay, so cut back a little bit. But if your appetite is satisfied, that's easier to do, isn't it? Yeah, so don't eat that little bit extra. Don't take that 3rd piece of chocolate cake or anything like that. Just cut back a little bit on what you're eating, and you'll see the pounds start to go. And will they go? And so we have got weight loss. This is weight loss where they're not going to repossess your BMW. I can guarantee you that. And maybe that tush can fit in that seat because it's gotten that a little bit smaller, so you can drive that sporty model with it. We can create very good weight loss with this. And you know what other companies can create? Pretty good financial loss. Because in reality, these companies' products really don't lose weight. Some of them do. Oh yeah, they put you on a diet. I see one here. I had one of the big MLMs contact me the other day, and a lot of you know the name of the company and they've been in it. They wanted me to produce a weight loss product for them. We said, okay. We private label. I make for about 40 different MLMs, and I make, just like Joey was talking about, Walmart, Costco, GNC, Vitamin Shop, Bath and Beyond, companies like that. I make products for them, lots of them. How many of them would I sell in Sisel? 0. Not one of them have the kind of formulations that I would ever use. In fact, is the #1 selling Garcinia cambogia extract, which is the #1 selling weight loss supplement in the world, doesn't use enough to work. Do you know that? Doesn't use enough of it to work. It doesn't even meet the studies. It's all advertising. So anyway, this MLM company came in and he said, we want you to build it. And we want to use all these big name ingredients that's been on TV with Dr. Oz and all these others. I said, okay. And they have a doctor. You know, have you seen these MLMs where they have their resident doctor that advises you? They don't know diddly squat about what they're talking about, quite frankly. They have the credentials, but we think they do because they're a doctor. But they only know their specialty, but they're there, Dr. So-and-so advises us. So here was his doctor's formulation. It takes 2,500 milligrams of Garcinia cambogia, 2,500 to do everything, satiety and to burn fat. It takes 1,500 just to satisfy the appetite. You know how many was in this formula he wanted us to use? 15. 15. Yeah, it takes 1,400 milligrams of green coffee bean extract with the EGCGAs to work. You know how many you want to use? 5. It takes 800 of green coffee bean to work. Of the chlorogenic acid, he wanted to use 3. Okay? Now, you're still going to lose weight on their program. You know why? Because you're on a 500 calorie diet. And I will guarantee you that's the same kind of diet they put you on when you're in a concentration camp. And everyone comes out thin. I can promise you that. Because that's concentration diet. And at 500 calories a day, you'll be chewing the wood off the doors in your house, I can tell you that. You'll be so darn hungry and everybody's going to lose weight. We're addressing things the best way possible. And with that, we put on a compensation plan that is a killer. And these products are to die for. Now, I said that once in Russia. And I was telling the Russians, and I said, these products are to die for, and the translator said, these products will kill you. So I think of that every time I say it. A little different terminology, so you have to watch what you say when you're in another place. But nonetheless, we have got the products, we know what works, we know what the concentrations work, and because we manufacture and because we are debt-free, we can build those products because we're putting the profit that we would make, the cost that we would make into the product itself. I built a $100 million plant, a $100 million manufacturing plant, and I paid for it cash. Okay, how would you like to do that? I did it before I sold my first distributor kit. Why? Because I knew what we were going to do, and now we're doing it and we're growing at an extraordinary rate with that. And so now we're moving into some most advanced things you've ever seen in your life. We've got drops, guys, you can put on your scalp and you can get your hair back. It will support you getting your hair back. Some massage, we even have, FDA has found a, listen to this, a beam of light, an infrared spectrum you can put on, shine on your head. I think you're a nutcase doing it, but you can do it and it'll grow hair with it. But in the same way that plants grow, it grows from infrared light coming down, but there's spectrums that grow plants. They found a spectrum that'll grow skin and hair. Would you like to have a wand like that? We got it. You can put in massages, your scalp, circulate, feel very good when you're doing it. And if you put the product on it, it can grow hair. But guess what else it can support? It can support getting your color back in your hair. Would you like your color back in your hair? That's pretty nice. Gray hair back to its normal color with that kind of thing. Wow, and science is there to do that. What happens with these things? Do you know, I actually, some things I have to watch, but I have a drop that I could put on my finger, rub on the side of my nose, and I'd wake up in the morning with a tan. Is that hard to believe? It is hard to believe, but the science is there, and it comes from frog skin. It's a peptide. It'll just stimulate so much pigment production that you could have a tan overnight, but if I did that, it'd be a true drug. So I'll have to take it and dilute it down. I did that for a while. I did it when I was married, and it was really kind of fun because I did it and I just took it and I went like this down my face and I did this half tanned and this half not, and you know, it was kind of like a split personality, which either way I would work. It was kind of about drove my ex-wife nuts, so there was some real good benefits in it because she was already nuts. But anyway, with that, those are the kinds of things we can do. I developed the cellulite thigh cream. And it really exploded my company. It became huge. Now I'm bringing out a pill that I'll have out this next year that you can take a pill and get rid of your cellulite. How do you like those things, ladies? Does that sound pretty good? Yeah, I've got a pill that you can take that supports you getting your hair back, man. And it's caused dihydrotestosterone. So if you have something that can keep dihydrotestosterone from forming, that's what causes hair loss, heart attack, and prostate enlargement. So think about that. Take a pill, pop out your hair, protect your heart, shrink your prostate. That's quite an exercise, isn't it? So, see, you can lose weight doing it too. See, it really works. And so we don't want to leave you alone. We have, it's called Energy for Him. We have Energy for Her. And guys, you will love Energy for Her because it just calms your wife right down. Those hormone fluctuations, which can be quite exacerbated at times, they just smooth right out with this thing. And she grows hair and skin and eyelashes and fingernails, and hormones are balanced and everything like she's in her 20s again. Sound like a good product?
Wow.
Yeah, so you'll buy it for your wife immediately. I want 2 of them so I don't run out. Okay? Now that's the kind of thing that we can do with what we're doing. So we've got all of that. So non-toxic products. So you don't build these up in it. Products that really work, that have enormous power. So what else do you want? Well, we're working on it. What else do you want? We're working on it. Those kinds of things, because those can be done. But now let's talk about skincare. And I don't know if we can get that slide up. Is it possible to get that slide up now, Joey or Huey? Or do we have that slide that comes up that I can show the pictures? I want to show you the world's next supermodel, and his name Dr. Kurt Fiznik, Dr. Fizz. Now Dr. Fizz, boy, he's got a lot of fizz on him. He's a 60-year-old chiropractor from South Dakota. Quite a bit overweight, lost a fair amount of his hair, now growing it, you see, with our product. And he was at Mauer Mountain, where Ray was at that, and he won a drawing, and he got the first bottle of Transfusium. That is our new product for wrinkles. It is not a new product for wrinkles. It is the only one ever created in the history of the world that will work, that will really work and do everything. Because we're going to take skin and we're going to go after it like it's never been done before. Not going to come up? What a pity. Okay, now we're going to have, for those of you that were here and haven't registered, be sure and you register after, because if you want this tape, they'll have the tapes and they'll make it available so you don't have to remember all this stuff. Cool. You know, and cool is right. I was sitting in the movie watching the Transformers, the latest one. Have you seen that? And if you went to that, they said, oh, we don't need the transformers anymore because we found out the metal that they're made of and we know how to create them. And so we need they named the metal transfusium. And I was sitting there. I'm single right now, so I turned to my girlfriend. I said, that's the name of our new product. She said, what? And I said, transfusium. Oh, how'd you come up with that name? I said, just heard it. It's a good name. So it is. Don't you think transfusium is a great name for a product? Man, it is a great, and it wasn't trademarked, so I went and trademarked it the next day. Transfusium. So now we have a product called Transfusium. Here it is right now. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Beautiful bottle with this thing, but this has so many active ingredients. There's, I don't know, I haven't counted them. I keep adding. I find I've just built this and built it and built it. The major ingredient in almost every skincare product is water. It's the minor ingredient in this one. We're running over 70% material in this. We're having trouble keeping it fluid. Now, have you heard of another company that's using a product called Oleander that's out there for skincare? Have you heard about that in MLM with that thing? Well, let me show you the test. Here's the test. You can put some of this on your finger. Now, with this product right here, if you put oleander on your finger, guess what it comes from? It comes from oleander. It comes from Nerium oleander. That's the plant it comes from. It's a deadly poison. But if you dilute it down, it just numbs your skin, see? So diluting it down and numbs your skin, then if you have these wrinkles, suddenly it becomes numb. See, it's kind of like shooting Botox in your head or getting Novocaine, you can't talk, and that's the way it works. It numbs it so it slides down. That's the only way it works. So these people were talking, Dr. Fizz, man, has he got big lines in his face. You should see them. And he won this, he started using it, and in 30 days, they are gone. And he said, Tom, what is happening here? And I said, God, I didn't expect it to work that fast. I knew it would work with everything that's in it, but it is a myriad of complexes. So if you take this Nerium, the wrinkles there, it just slides down, but the skin's sick. You know, with the oleander, the Nerium oleander product, because it's diluted down poison, just like Botox is diluted down botulism, you know. Would you want to eat something that had botulism, right? Well, put some of that skincare product, put it on your tongue from that other company, or this one. Not bad. Well, not good, but compared to eating at my mother-in-law's, that was absolutely delicious. I'll have to admit, and I don't have a wrinkle on my tongue with it. But you see, the ingredients are so safe. They're all botanical extracts, but they're super concentrates, and they work on a variety of things. Because we took a look at skin, and we decided this: that beauty is only skin deep, but ugly goes clear to the bone. Have you ever noticed that? That's why I told Dr. Fizz, well, it'll work on your wrinkles, but it'll do nothing for ugly. But the point of it is, beauty goes all the way through to the bone, because as you get older, your facial features change. You know that, don't you? Ladies, you're more cognizant than men are because you're more into it, but your bone structures change. The muscles, they deteriorate, the skin goes down, and you start sagging, and all kinds of things start happening to you because everything is collapsing, going down. So if we're going to get to the issue, where should we start? From the top, where you rub something on your hand, you know? And they tell you, oh, and you see how a woman rubs the product in their hand? You know, I like to rub it. You got to get it down in. That's where the problem lies, not on top. That's where the problems come in. So what we've done is we've taken these ingredients and we put them together and we put them in sizes, some of them even nano sizes, so they can penetrate all the way down in for whatever they're supposed to do with it. How would you like a product that would go to the bone and start to rebuild the bone? But if you're going to rebuild the bone, you better have something to take with it, and it's not a calcium supplement to the store, because calcium is only about 3% absorbable, and you get about twice as much lead with it as you do calcium. Did you know that? It's not on the label, but calcium is only 3% absorbable. Now, so you see how our company works? And it's so easy to tell you about this. So what is bone made up of? 7 major minerals, okay? What chemical constituency are those minerals? I know exactly what they are. What ratio are they on? I know exactly what they are. If you have the right ones in the right ratio, in the right chemical constituency, then they don't even have to be metabolized by the liver. They can go right there and be used. And you can do something. And if you have a delivery system that can deliver it, because it's an inorganic, but how do you deliver it? Well, let me tell you how to deliver. Have you ever laid awake at night and wondered how a plant absorbs a rock? Well, I have. I do it all the time. How does a plant absorb a rock? Well, let's see. It does it the same way you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. And so what happens with plants is they will take photonic energy from the sun, split the photons, put it in sugar, secrete it in the soil through the roots in a sugar. Have you ever felt roots? You ever run around and felt how sticky roots are? It's not a perverted action, you're just feeling sticky roots around there. And so if you feel how sticky roots are, it's because they have this sugar. And so microbes in the soil feed on the sugar, secrete an acid, just like microbes in your mouth feed on sugar and something you've eaten, secrete an acid that etches your teeth. That acid in the soil is called organic fulvic acid, and it pulls out the little pieces of mineral and takes them up through the plant. And it makes it really absorbable into the plant. And it goes into the cells and it releases that photonic energy that's been converted to chemical energy to electrical energy, and it releases the minerals so it can be used, and you can take something from 3% absorbable to up to 91 to 97% absorbable. So you want that in your product? Would you like your calcium cleaned of lead before you use it? Yeah. So we have a product called Calcium K2. Ladies especially, you should all be using it. This is the one that does it, because we have all of that together in it to make it work for you. So now, if you're back to the transfusion, if you're using a product that goes clear down in, what do you want to do with it? You want to support it? I mean, if you got the stimulation that's there, it's going clear to the bone. Do you have the right compound to support building the bones, the facial bones? Okay, we've got it, see? And it's a small enough size. Then what's the next thing on it? Muscles, they're getting thin, tissue getting thin. How about supporting them so they get bigger, stronger, firmer, and they start to firm up and pull up so that your whole facial contour comes up and they start to build that foundation about which the skin can lay on. Does that sound good? That can be done. Where's it at? In transfusium. It's all in this right here. There's never been a product like it before. And then you look at stem cells. Stem cells are like, well, they're like a chicken that lays an egg, you know. Stem cells produce new cells. And so as the chicken gets older, they produce less eggs, right? Queen bee in a hive. One queen produces 30,000 bees a month. Bees live about three months. So it's got to produce about 100,000 bees every three months in order to keep the hive at about 100,000. What happens when the queen gets old? Less eggs. Hive gets down, smaller. So pretty soon have to get a new queen, form a new hive to go. Okay, so if your skin's working the same way, what are you going to do about it? Do you want those stem cells to lay more eggs? Have you got turkey neck? Or you got that kind of thing that's there? Okay, how about laying some more eggs? Rub that product in, goes down there, goes to the stem cells. They're old. They've taken in a lot of material. They've made a lot of cells. It's got a lot of cellular garbage that couldn't be taken out. Is there something that will remove it? Yes, there is. Something will remove that clutter, and that causes the discoloration in skin too. So let's get rid of that. Now the cells, they're like an engine. They're worn out. You can have a car that's 20 years old. One has 20,000 miles on it. One has 150,000 miles. Which car is going to run right for you? Okay? Could you take the 150,000 mile car engine and could you rebuild it so it was like new? Yes, that can be done with stem cells too. We can do it. And the little energy engines in it, mitochondria, they're worn out. Can you make more of them? Yes, you can. Can you repair the ones that are worn out? Yes, we can. All of that can be done at the cellular level in the basal layer. And then guess what happens? Where you're just producing cells here and there. And you're getting, where you get, you have this turkey neck, you have the lip lines, you have the bony hands, you have the wrinkles, you have the eye bags, you have the sagging skin, and you start producing more cells. And guess what happens? More cells. More cells. More cells. You're producing all of these cells, and the skin starts growing. Your basket's full of eggs. It starts growing, it starts swelling, it starts pushing up. You're filling up with new cells, and now instead of being over the age of 60 where you got 90% old cells and 10% young, we can reverse it. You can have 90% young and 10% old. And then as it's growing up, what's happening to the skin? The collagen, it's just gone like this. It's every which way. It's kind of like Ray on a blind date. It just doesn't know what to do on this thing. But you can strengthen that thing, and you can build that collagen network out, and that elastin, it can be like Jack and the Beanstalk coming up to push that skin up, and in a week you can feel the pressure on your face as it's expanding. And the moisture that's in you moisturize your skin. You don't need it on the outside. They put hyaluronic acid and things like that in, and collagen on the outside. Those molecules are huge. They can't get in. It's like trying to get my mother-in-law in a Volkswagen. It's impossible. It can't get through such a small opening with such a big size. And so they sit there on your skin. They suffocate your skin. They keep the toxins in. They keep the oxygen out. They keep the carbon dioxide from leaving, and you get sick skin because you're moisturizing your skin. How about going down into the skin? How about creating hyaluronic acid, that which makes skin soft and full of moisture? How about increasing it by 6,000% with it? Does that sound pretty good? So it fills it with moisture, becomes soft and beautiful and functioning the way it should. Strands are going, networks going out, the different layers filling up with new cells, the waffling between the layers, bonded together, glued together, so they're firm, they're strong, they're there. All of those things happening. What's going to happen to your skin? Discoloration goes away. Fine lines. Seeing the balloon go down when it's losing air? Okay, let's blow that thing back up and make it firm and smooth and nice. We can do all that. And how about a wrinkle? What's a wrinkle? It's a scar tissue. It's a disulfide bond. It's proteins that have been oxidized. They've collapsed. The skin pulls it in and seals it. Kind of like Bondo. On top of that, it just seals it. It's a scar tissue. It's a disulfide bond. There's an enzyme that will eat it out. Very simple. It sounds bad, but it's not. It's like getting a spot on your pants and you put some water on it. It doesn't take it, so take a little saliva, rub on it, and goes. Enzyme does it like that, breaks it down. There's an enzyme that will break a disulfide bond. How would you like to rub that into your skin and watch your disulfide bond snap while you're sleeping? I mean, just comes right out of it. And you start removing those disulfide bonds. And how about something to signal now the disulfide bond is gone, to signal that so the skin wants to come in and repair it back like it's normal? Does that sound like a good idea? How about all of that in one product? Wow, what have you got? How about you change it from 90% old to 90% young? How about instead of the matrix being down here waffled and everything firm, and, or not firm, saggy and loose and everything, to going like this, and it's firm and it's beautiful? And how about the fat cells in your skin? Women have softer skin because they have twice as many fat cells as men do. You wouldn't think that if you saw Ray, but nonetheless with women in their skin, they have twice as many fat cells and they get deflated. Okay? So we have the Ray syndrome. We have 3 volumizers for fat cells. And they go in there and they volumize those fat cells, and it plumps up skin. And guess what it does, ladies? It makes your skin super soft, really soft. And then you're producing hyaluronic acid, and it makes it so moist and so nice. And the clarity comes out into that skin, and the whole matrix comes up, and it becomes firm and soft, and you get definition back in your face, and wrinkles snap and go, and sagging goes away. And you know what you've got? You got young skin. And I mean really young skin. It doesn't seem, look, appear. It is. That's our claim. Seems, look, appears. We have to say it that way. But I tell you, ugly goes clear to the bone, but beauty can come all the way back up if you do it right. And we do it every single step of the way. Does that sound like something you would like? There's nothing like it. Nothing comes close. Everything else is totally worthless or insignificant. I will tell you that, scientifically speaking. It's crap. I don't care what it sells for. I don't care what the package is. Worthless. Save your money, save your face. It makes you older, not younger. And it's wasting your pocketbook and you're wasting your time. 70-year-old women have 80-year-old skin. And and they've used it all their life. Okay? They spent a fortune for nothing. They've aged their skin faster. But you want to do something because it's in your nature to do it. So the problem is the industry has taken advantage of that caring, that nurturing that you have, and sold that illusion of what's there. But they don't use 50 and 60-year-old models, do they, to advertise it? We do. We got Dr. Fizz, our supermodel, and you can see that happen with him, excuse me. We question him sometimes. But anyway, with that, we can take your skin and we can make it baby soft, wrinkle-free, firm, beautiful color, soft, contoured. Do you want that? We got it. That's the thing we've got. Okay, now, Anybody for beautiful eyelashes? Be the last. Oh, right here, quick! Look at that. A cobra doesn't strike that fast. We've got some models here. Can we have them come up with our lash? We have a new thing called Sisel lash, and we had these young ladies today. We talked about Sisel lash. You want long, beautiful lashes? You don't give a hang, but if she's got them, you like it, right? And that's exactly right. Nothing like long, beautiful lashes. So if you gals will come up here to the front, we'll let you look into their eyes. They've done one eye. See if you can guess which one it is with our new Sisel lash. So here they come. Dum-dum-dum. And so we were talking today, and I said, why don't you put it on? Because you can have a long, beautiful eyelash in 60 seconds.
When you finish, do you want me to talk about pay daily for a minute?
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
She's got a good picture.
What's that?
She's got a good picture.
Had a good picture.
Yeah. With your phone.
Oh, okay. She's got an eye. Now look at these girls right here. Can you see which eye they've done?
We're kind of far away. Yeah.
They've just done one eye. And what they have, you see how the one eye stands out over the other eye with it? I don't even have to show you which eye. You can see that they've done it. And we have got a new thing called Sisel lash. And Sisel lash builds eyelashes out. Now you know what eyelashes are in women. You can have Tammy Baker eyes, can't you? You know, it looks like two tarantulas at mating season every time she blinks. You know, that type of thing. Or you can have the eyelashes where one of them is boinging out like this. Or you can have braided eyelashes that cost you about $120, $150 to do, and fills are half that price. Isn't that about right? Or something like that. Or you can put on long, beautiful eyelashes every single day with our Sisel lash. And it's as simple. You put on your mascara, you put on a base coat, then you take a fiber and you just run the fiber out, and it just builds the lash out. Next one builds it out further, builds it out, and then you take the first one, you go back over it again to seal it in, and you got beautiful lashes just like that. So while I'm talking about the rest of it, I'm going to let them go do both eyes and then come back. Can you do that real quick? Have you got here? Okay, if you gals will go do that, then you'll see what it is with both eyes. And they won't be Tammy Baker's eyes, they'll be beautiful eyes. And so with that, you can have long, beautiful eyelashes in 60 seconds per eye. Can you imagine that every single day and what a difference that makes? You see it? And so when you do that, these eyelash products have got lots of toxins in. This has none in it at all with it. So this product will be out in about 2 weeks. Transfusium will be out in about 2 weeks. Okay? And you can see the difference. If you want to do this, this is the kind of product that you have to understand. If you put it on, and you're going to put it on your skin, you remember how companies tell you, and you see some of these companies are experts, and they say, you just daub it on your eyes like this. Be very careful, the skin's very delicate. You're not a tutti frutti. This product needs to be rubbed in. You put it in, rub that son of a gun in. Get it down in. Beauty goes clear, down clear to the bone. Let's rub it in, let's work it, let's make it work. Rub your skin like this, and if you'll rub it like this, the massage is good for it, but you're getting the products all the way down in. And when it goes down in all the way, then those products are down layer to layer to layer to layer all the way down, and then they're calibrated to work, and you've got beautiful skin, and the texture of it is so great. Is there one woman that wouldn't mind having her hand felt? Just hand. Come up here and that hasn't got lotion on their hands? Okay, she's going to be our demo right here. Here's our first animal test for the day. And with that, and so here we are. No, we don't do animal testing at Sisel, although I've tried some on my mother-in-law a few times. But here's the idea. We'll put this skin on. Now rub that in really good, but don't worry about your hands, and rub it in vigorously and all the way down in. But just over the palm of your hand. Forget about the fingers. And so she'll rub this in. Now, you felt lotiony hands, haven't you, with that? And they feel like lotiony hands, and you've got it and you have that thick feeling on it. What this does is this becomes part of your skin, and it follows follicular channels, and it has nanoparticles, and they go all the way down in it. So while she's rubbing it vigorously in with lots of, and she's doing it right, rub it in good until it's all in absorbed. Now it's pretty well absorbed. got nice hands too. I'm going to rub it in a little bit here because I enjoyed the pleasure of doing such things, but nonetheless, this is part of the job. Somebody has to do it. Get all of it in here. But anyway, we get it down in here where it's supposed to be. Now we've got it set. So now what we're going to do is we're going to load it with the moisture holding properties, and we're going to set it down deep. And when I do that, I'll have her rub this in. We'll just spray this on her skin and have her rub that in. And then when you feel her skin, when this thing is done, it's going to feel like silk. And I want you to feel one of her hands and the other hand if you want to, and you'll see what skin should, could, and will feel like with this product. And from the very bottom, this has gone all the way down to the bone, to the muscle, to the tissues, to the stem cells, to the basal layer, to the dermal layer, to the epidermal layer, to the stratum corneum, to the fibroblasts, to the elastin, to the moisture, to the fat cells, all in this product because it's got almost 25 actives in it. And that's what she's putting in. And it's designed to go in and down and stay and work. And that's what you want.
That's a huge difference.
Oh, you can see the difference. Mm-hmm. Now what I want you to do, make sure that it's all in, see? Now, if you will go, now ladies, you guys, you can do it too, but be careful. You got your wife watching. Just feel one hand and then the other, and you'll see what it's like. You can see what skin is like if you want to see it.
There is.
Even if you close your eyes.
You just go, yeah, you just close your eyes, you just tell it, skin becomes, it immediately changes the whole composition of the skin with what it's doing. This is not a coating. This is a deep treatment that works all that way. And here, catch this. Now, we are so confident in it, and we have seen the studies on it. Here's what we're going to say. And there's a system you could use, but it's a simple system with this. And with this, you clean your face. But use our cleanser because most cleansers have got sulfates and they corrode the skin. So use our cleanser. Then put on Infusium, or Transfusium. Then Skin Dew. And it's in. Now, for the day, we have a thing called Actify 6000. You rub that over and in it, protects it from the sun. It holds about 6,000 times more moisture in the skin itself. Goes down in and sets up places to hold it, see? And you're producing it, so now it's got better attachments on it. So that's it. You clean the skin, Transfusium, and Skin Dew, and Actify, you're set for the day. At night, you come back, you repeat it, but instead of using Actify, you put on Rapid Repair. Remember the one that's got 50,000 parts per million? So it's just a 1, 2, 3 step. Transfusium, Skin Dew, and either Actify in the day or Rapid Repair at night, and you need nothing else. And your skin will reverse its aging so fast that here's the guarantee. We will tell you, take a photo, and in 30 days, if you do not believe that your skin does not look 5 to 10 years younger, we'll give you your money back. How is that for confident?
That's very good.
We know it because it has to. We built the campus. This is not a look, seem, appear, feel. It will psych you out. It's not the perception you have. It's the reality that you will receive. And you will watch wrinkles, sagging skin, fine lines, discoloration, turkey neck, lip lines, bony hands, if you want to use it on that. Just change. They'll change fast. 30 days, you'll have a significant improvement. 60 days, you'll be in awe. 90 days, you'll be stunned at the difference in your skin. Try it for 6 months. You'll think you'll step back 20 years in time, I think, for many of it. That's what we've got. But we have a lot of things. And everything that I've told you about, doesn't matter what the other product is, they're built like this. They are not better than, they are vastly superior to anything else in the world. I will not make it any other way. Yes, I make these other products for other companies. They will pay me for it. We make a profit. We have bigger volumes. We have better buying power. We have more manpower, more equipment. I only work on Sisel. I let my son and others work on the private label market too. I don't want anything to do with it. That's business. I'm not in this business for the business. I'm in this business to help you to become happier, healthier, and wealthier. That's why I'm here today. That's why I'm building products like the world has never seen before in history. And that's what you've got your hands on here. That's why I have the world's best tasting coffee and the only health coffee in the world with it. All of these things are this way. Now in skincare, this is the revolution in skincare. This isn't the best of the products that are out in skincare. They're all worthless, folks. They're worthless. This one here even rebuilds the telomeres in your skin. You imagine we talked about that? That's got this compound in it too to do that. We do everything that biologically is possible, I believe with science, to take that aging skin and to turn it to young skin. Do you want that? This is the answer. It is the only answer, I believe, in the entire world. Nothing ever been created like this. I'm going to have the former head of the American Association of Cosmetic Chemists, the most premier individual in the world, is going to do a video, and he's going to say, this isn't a paid infomercial. I have nothing in it, but this is the perfect storm of a product. If ever I was going to design a dream product that would do exactly what you wanted and everything it could to the skin, it would be this one. And he's going to say it, and you'll have it. Why? Because of what's in it. And why is it superior to the others? Because what they have in it that's toxic and what they have in it that doesn't work. Or if something does work, it's so little, it's like waving a chicken over a pot of boiling water and saying you made chicken soup. You know? That's the difference. That's the honest to gosh truth with this. We are doing it, we're not just doing it right, we're doing it where others are not. Now what a statement to say, isn't it? But do you want to be with a company like this? And then with this, I have no debt, I have no shareholders, I have no loans, everything is paid for, the buildings are paid for, everything's done, so I don't have any debt. So what am I doing with all this extra money that companies pay out to shareholders and to rent and to leases and to building payments and to interest and all that? I'm paying it to you in commissions so that you can make a lot more money than you can ever dream of making with another company. If you get three that got three that got three, okay? 39 people in your company. The way we've got our first three levels structured, it makes you $1,000 a month. That's it. If they simply buy the products. Do you use $200 worth of products in your home between you and your wife and everything else? Of course you do. So you can qualify in your bathroom. You stepped out and you're qualified. You get three people and you help them get three and then help them get three. 39 people, you can make $1,000 a month. It takes about 120 to 150 in another company to do that, folks. And we can do it with 39. Tell me you cannot. And then it goes far beyond that. Now we're getting people up to the 20 to the 50 to the $100,000 checks, and we'll have thousands of them. We're doing it, tens of thousands of them. My previous company, I created 1,000 millionaires. We'll create 100,000 millionaires with what we have here. I know how to do it. I built a $1 billion company. Now we're going to build a $10 or $20 billion company, and we're right there. So you think you're on the right place, right time, right company? Yeah. If this caught you, join us. You need us, we need you. This is why I'm here, to do it for you, to help you. So let's create something really marvelous together. We can do it. We've got it. We've got it like no other company in history. And this is our moment in time to do it. So come and join us and create the life that you want. We've got the money for you, got the products for you, we've got the opportunity for you. And right now, how many people know about Sisel here? Not many. Isn't that, man, did you step into it at the right time? With a company that with a half a billionaire that has built a company, you know, all the way up, and has taken it from nothing to that on profit. I built $1 billion company on $100 and never borrowed. How would you like to do that? Now that all those resources are here, I'm going to build a $10 or $20 billion a year company. And it's all in profit. Why? Because I want to pay you that profit. I want to give you that. It's not for me. It doesn't change my lifestyle at all. They offered me a $50 million signing bonus. They said, well, you'll lose all that money, but we'll give you another 50 if you'll sign. I said, no. They said 60. I said, no. $70 million signing bonus. Can you imagine a $70 million signing bonus? Kind of like mine. I said, no. You know why? It doesn't change my lifestyle. But if my company's for sale, I'm not for sale. And I want to take what I have, my God-given talents and resources and abilities, and help people to create the best life we can. I love going against big corporation, big government, those kinds of things that use us and abuse us. So together we can do it. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Let's do it. I'm going to turn the time back over to Joey, and I want to thank all of you for coming. And let's do it together, folks. This is not my company. This is our company. Sisel's our company. So let's do it. Thank you, everybody.
you think of Tom Maurer? Hey, I'm going to have an auction. Who'd give $100 right now? I'm actually taking these home. And I'm not going to set these down. We had a meeting in Atlanta last night. It's funny. Who likes the TSX product? I had a bottle sitting on the table, and I said to the people that was there, I said, somebody will steal that. Guess what? Somebody did. Isn't it amazing? People will literally steal this stuff from you. And I got them on video. I just haven't turned them into the police yet. One last thing. How many people's here for the opportunity of Sisel right now? Was everybody just really here to hear about the products, the science? I know Thomas back there. He's got plenty of money. He was here for the science. I want you to understand something. What actually attracted me to Sisel? Anybody that knows me want to answer that? The opportunity, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you know, people need an opportunity. Would you agree? And there's people in this room that's financially okay that does not have a quality of life. Who has plenty of money and not a quality of life? Raise your hand. There's several people. But really understand something. When I looked at the big picture here, I want you to think this, and this literally will take me less than 5 minutes. $20, you can become a distributor with this company. Who's excited about that? $20. There's no hidden agendas, no $200 pack or $500 or $5,000 or, oh, by the way. Anybody know companies like Oh, by the way? How many people's been surprised? It's $20. Who has $20 in their pocket? Raise your hand. Who's willing to take a chance on $20? Raise your hand. At the end, honestly, raise your hand. Who's willing to take a chance? What if everything you heard tonight was false? What if it doesn't work? What do you got to lose? Now think about this. He understood something about a compensation plan, and I have tore this compensation plan apart. Yes or no? Daylight till dark. We have spent hours upon hours on the phone. I did everything I could to figure out a problem here. I've been in this game a long time. I know the good, the bad, the ugly, the lies, everything about it. How many people's been in companies you got to go jump from this side of the room to that side of the room just to get qualified to earn a bigger percentage? Raise your hand. He cut all that out. There's really no breakage. If you've been a part of a company and you spend $200 to get in and they put $50 in a binary, raise your hand. Raise your hand. Thank you. You spend $200 here, guess what goes in the compensation plan? $200. He understands equal opportunity. Does everybody in here understand dollar for dollar? Trust me, I do. I've been part of companies, not saying no names, and a lot of you all have been in that company, doing a couple $1 million a month, but only getting commissions on $800,000 or $900,000. Who's excited about that? That's terrible, right? That's 98% of every MLM company. So think about this. If you do $1 million a month in business with Sisel, guess what you get paid on? Does anybody want to answer it? $1 million a month. Is that okay? It's equal opportunity, right? So think about this. $20 to get in business. We've got 4 situations with this company. We have a bronze position. We have a silver position. We have a gold position. And we have a platinum position. That's your ranks to be qualified to get paid. Does everybody understand that? Guess what you got to do to earn these ranks? You can spend $50 a month and he's going to reward you and you become a bronze member. Who's excited about that? It's very simple. Who can do that? He's also going to allow you, if you buy $100 worth of products a month, you're silver qualified. How many people's been part of companies? You got to sponsor 10 people, get 25 customers, you got to jump across the street, swim across the Chattanooga River. to be qualified. So you can spend $100 a month. Congratulations, you're a silver in the business. Who would like to be a silver tonight? Or you can spend $150 a month on products that you use every single day of your life and be gold qualified. Who can do that? And platinum, the top of our company, $200 you're a platinum. Who would like to start out as a platinum tonight? Do you know how many people I've sit down with, they said, how do you become a platinum? I'm like, oh, if you really realize how hard it was. $200. Guess what? That's equal opportunity. So there's your 4 positions in our company. Do we have some incentives and a few other little positions? We have a 1-star, a 2-star, a 3-star, a 4-star, and a 5-star. But at the end of the day, if you're platinum qualified, you get all the money. Who's excited about that? Raise your hand. That's huge. It opens up multiple ways to get paid. I'm going to touch on one way we get paid. It's called Fast Start. Fast Start is for everybody in this room right now. How many people knows they can sponsor someone in this business tonight before you go to bed? Raise your hand. One person. Please raise. What if you knew you were going to die at midnight if you didn't? How many people would sponsor someone? Let's be honest. You're not serious about your business. You know, it's easy to become a millionaire, but it's a hell of a lot easier not to. Right? Who agrees with me on that? Raise your hand. So think about this. What's your name? Steve, I sponsor you today into this business. You're a sharp businessman. You see the big picture. I'm all in. I want to get started. Steve says, guess what? I want to invest $1,000 in my business. I want a bunch of product. Who believes in investing in your business? Right? It takes money to make money. Agreed, Susan, right? So think about this. I get Steve started. He invests $1,000. Tomorrow, I earn... Mike went out? I broke it. I earn 30 to 45%. So I'm going to make between $300 and $450 off of him getting started today. Will be in my account tomorrow. Who would like to get paid daily? Raise your hand. There's no company in the industry right now, I challenge any of you all, that think you know this industry, to find a product-driven company that pays daily. That's big, isn't it? That takes a lot of money. You think he believes in his products? And guess what? He's got 30-day money-back guarantee. You think he's taking a chance? No, he believes in what he has. Okay? We're going to have a few people send it back, absolutely. That's just life. That's paid daily. Who can sponsor someone today for $1,000? You make $300 to $400 and duplicate that every day. We have created a whole new wave and a whole new sense of urgency. That was the missing link in this industry. The problem is people get started. They have to wait a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks to get their paycheck, right? They lose interest. People are broke. It's unfortunate that 99% of America is broke today. They're broke. They can't even afford $50 for a product that's going to change the way you look. So now we have a solution. We show them how to get paid daily. Our residuals pay out over 50% documented. Over 50%, actually 52%. Any way you cut it, I challenge you to tell me different. Find a company that does that. So think about this. Your Sisel business, Steve, that you generate, let's say it's doing $100,000 a month in business, right? 52% of that is $52,000 a month is getting paid somewhere into the field. Does anybody know any companies like that? We've got all the other perks. We got the car bonuses and all the check match programs, and we've got everything. But being able to get paid daily, be able to offer products that people use every single day of their life, for a $20 investment, who's in? That's a no-brainer, right? Timing and positioning is everything. Being in this industry 20 years, I've been a part of companies, and some good companies, but most of the companies that really had potential were underfunded and were just a U.S.-based company. To find a company like this that's documented, largest manufacturing facility pretty much in the world, in over 40 plus countries. Anybody know anybody in Canada? Does anybody know one person in Canada? Raise your hand. September 13th, it's fully launched. Who would like to open Canada with us? One person? Well, they need some coffee, Tom. I mean, at the end of the day, here's the deal. There's so many people that need this opportunity. We're looking for people that want this opportunity, right? We're not begging people. That's one thing I've learned about this business. If I got to beg you to show up to an event, or if I got to beg you to sit down in a room for a couple hours to change your life, you're not the right person for this business. So many people misrepresent or have no clue how powerful this industry is. In the last 5 years, this industry's created more millionaires than any other method of distribution. I don't care if you're a doctor. I don't care if you're in professional sports, NASCAR. I don't care if you own GM Motors. Bottom line is, it's created more wealth, period, over and out. It's a $130 billion industry. Who's laughed about this industry? Do you think this industry really cares that you're laughing about it? I can assure you, due to this wonderful economy we're faced with today, over the next 5 to 10 years, this industry, this pyramid industry, network marketing will create more millionaires and more wealth than anything else. It will double or triple. Everything in life is about being in the right place at the right time. It's just not Sisel International. It's the industries this company is in. The health and wellness industry, the weight loss industry, anti-aging, age reversal, the coffee industry, and the network marketing industry in itself. This model is going to double or triple in the next 5 or 6 years. It'll become a $300, $400, $500 billion industry. Who would like to position in a company that Tom Maurer Sr. has created for us in an industry that's going to double or triple in 5 years? Who's in? Hello. That's why I'm 6, 7, 8 hours away from my wife and 3 kids. That's why Tom's traveling all over the country to pour his art. He does not need the money. Would you all agree? Do y'all understand? He's got one of the, I think, the biggest home in Utah, 68,000 square feet. Now, it's crazy. He's got bowling alleys in his house. He don't even bowl. Do you think he's crazy? He's got swimming pools in his house. That wasn't good enough that he built a rock cliff. I would have loved to have been his contractor. Oh, you need a bowling alley. Go ahead. You need a rock cliff. Go ahead. Who would have liked to have been building his house? Well, your commode's a little off kilter. I'll just fix it. 68,000 square feet, and guess what? It's open for each and every one of you all. Raise your hand if you'd like to go to Utah. So, understand, timing is amazing. Don't miss this opportunity. If you're a guest, get back with the person who invited you. We'll get your questions answered. We have conference calls, training calls, webinars, everything to provide you success in this company. God bless and welcome to Sisel.